Kia ora whānau. What I wanted to talk about was my journey towards getting to this point where I'm able to now run every second day. I can remember, where do I start? I feel like I need to start at nearly 2 years ago now. I experienced heartbreak where I had expressed feelings of love towards somebody close to me and they weren't reciprocated. For many reasons, this sent me into a spiral, I guess, of my unconscious, because in a lot of ways it wasn't just being rejected or it not having been reciprocated, but it was a journey of my sexuality. It was a journey of, having feelings for a friend, somebody that I really valued and held in high regard, because I really do honor and value my friendships. And so it's kind of like a no for that to occur. And so about 2 years ago, I experienced rejection, and in that I experienced loss, heartache, and I spiraled into a depression. And I would say, in all honesty, that depression lasted up until maybe a couple of months ago. And I know that because I felt and observed shifts within me and my ability to hold life gently. Something a therapist said to me once, you can still hold the meaning of the past but hold it gently. And so I see that in the way I'm able to now step back from my connections and step back from things that were once occupying my mind so heavily, and see a shift in the way that I see everything. In that time of depression though, I had experienced months and months of not wanting to leave the house, of having not so much vision. I feel like I've always held a vision for my life and I've always had hopes and dreams, but it was more just an uncertainty of when that fog was going to lift. And I know those who've experienced similar will know what I'm talking about. In those months, in that time, I had to be very, very intentional about what I was going to do and how I was going to help myself. And so I did seek therapy and did lean into my family, and there was a large period of time that felt like, what is this for? As in, I don't know why I'm even trying to set these goals or have this positive, hopeful perspective on my life, when it just feels like this feeling and this weight is never going to lift. And so for months and months I persisted. For months and months I journaled, read books, mostly books around spirituality, the unconscious mind, Carl Jung's influence. Really found a great love and appreciation for psychology and for Jung, and almost looked to him like another father figure that aided in helping me through that time that felt like it was not going to end. I would say right up until a couple of months ago, really truly did the fog lift, because up until that time, although I was, seemingly operating and doing things in a way that I guess to others seemed normal or appeared, like I was okay, I still was chasing external love and validation. I was looking for things outside of me that were inside of me. And when I say that, I don't mean I hold it up and, was seeking love in that way. I just mean in my connections, I was clinging to them rather than allowing them to come into me. And right up until a couple of months ago, I can't quite pinpoint what it was, but I believe it was in and around my trip back home to Wellington. And in that space and time, I was talking to one of my best mates about this actually. She was down in Wellington at the time. I had explained that I had experienced so much change and so much internal shifts that I now have to make the outside match the inside. And she understood what I was saying. We spoke a lot on that. We spoke a lot about upbringing and a lot about, you know, Wellington being our home, being our childhood home, being the home that we grew up knowing. With me now living in Kirikiriroa in Hamilton, now feeling like it's my home was such a transitionary period that I had to actually struggle to arrive at, because I did have to let go of all the attachments that I had made with Wellington and with my childhood and with my upbringing. And so with where I am now, you know, able to run every other day, now studying full time, have settled right in the space that I'm living in. I have healthy relationships around me. I am able to reflect and practice the art of self-awareness and being conscious. I wanted to share that journey just briefly to give, I guess, a deeper understanding as to how I am where I am now. I want, I guess, people to understand that when they do see someone achieving, or when they do see somebody thriving or somebody blessed in their life, I'd love for people to understand with every acceleration in consciousness, or with every ascension you may see or that you may observe in a person, just know that they had to overcome the equal and opposite energy in order to arrive there. I wanted to share my story and open myself up and let you all into this space, because I know it's important to understand that there are a lot of people who need to hear, see and feel that vulnerability is safe, and that vulnerability indicates power and not weakness and not lack. It's certainly not based in any sense of fear when you are able to be vulnerable. You can access the truth and the meaning of life. And so yes, I wanted to share that, and I will be continuing to share my journey and my life in this space, and I'd love it if you guys came along. And honestly, I hope this encourages and aids somebody in a difficulty that you may be experiencing, and I hope that you feel all the love I aspire to give in and over the screen. So thanks for being here. Mwah.